Okay. So, fruits of all Vedic sacrifices is transcendental knowledge. And this leads to liberation and ultimately to pure devotional service. This is what Lord Krishna is going to tell us in this section, that whatever sacrifices we do, whatever is the result, is transcendental knowledge. And that is what is going to lead us towards liberation and devotional service. Let's see that. देवमेवापरे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्मज्ञावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some offer sacrifices in the fire of Supreme Brahman. So, in previous shloka, what did Lord say? Lord spoke about transforming the material activities, whatever material activities we are doing at home, to change it to spiritual activities. So what did we understand over there? That what is matter? So basically, the spiritual entity or Brahman, we are covered by Maya. And because of this illusory potency that is, we are covered with that, we start perceiving that, we are the body, we are, everything in that respect. But if we can regain, if we can get back that knowledge that we are spiritual in nature, we have spiritual quality, then what are we supposed to do? Just remove that covering. Cheto darpada marjanam. We have to remove that covering. So how can that covering be removed? By sacrifice, by yajna. So what do we understand by sacrifice? What do we? Sacrifice everywhere, sacrifice, they say, yajna, yajna, yajna. What is that? Sacrifice means any activity, whatever activity we are doing for the pleasure of Krishna, it is to be done. That is what is sacrifice for us. So simple words. Yajna, sacrifice, wherever you encounter this word, remember that any activity needs to be done for the pleasure of Krishna. So now Krishna is going to describe various types of yajnas, many. So let's see what all. So what is Lord saying over here? Yogina paryupasate. Some yogis, some yogina paryupasate, some yogis worship very nicely, very perfectly. To whom do they worship? Daivam. Eva apare yajna. To whom? Devi Devatas. They worship Devi Devatas, and others by doing different sacrifices. Some yajna, putra kamishti yajna. You want putra kamishti yajna, do this. You want to regain wealth, Lakshmi Puja. You want to get better health, do Sun God Puja, like that. Yajnena eva upajuvati means there are other categories of people also. Other people, what do? They offer by sacrifice, yajna. In what? In Agnav, in fire. Fire of what? Brahma apare yajnam means in the fire of absolute truth or supreme Brahman. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada is very mercifully trying to explain in this purport. In his purport, he says sacrifice means what? Satisfy Lord Vishnu, because he is the supreme Lord and he is the Lord of Yajna. So he is Lord of Yajna. That is what reason. So sacrifice, we can place it in two categories, primary divisions. We can divide it into two primary divisions. What is that? One, sacrifice of worldly possessions. We just sacrifice it. And sacrifice in pursuit of transcendental knowledge. We sacrifice to get knowledge. So devotees who are in Krishna consciousness, they are not thinking of anything. They just want to satisfy the Lord. They are not thinking I should do this or that. So there are so many in this world. They want material happiness, right? So what do? They sacrifice material possessions. Like, if they want to satisfy demigods or devatas like Indra, then sun god. So actually this way, what are they doing? Kind of business deal, you can say. See, God, I'm going to give you this much money, or maybe I will go and break these many coconuts in your temple. In return, I want this, and this, or I want this much wealth, or I want progeny, or whatever it might be, property. So impersonalists, they sacrifice their identity by merging into existence of impersonal Brahman. They will just say, I'm Tattvam Asi, I am that, and that they will sit in meditation pose. Devatas, we understand, they are million times powerful than us. There is no doubt about it. They have to be respected, they have to be regarded, but they are not equal to God, because they themselves are getting energy from the powerhouse. Powerhouse is God, and they themselves are getting power from them. And if We pray to the Supreme Lord, Devatas will be more than happy. They will be jumping with joy. So, so why are they important? Because they are maintaining, they are supervising this whole, the way we are getting this heat through sun, water through Indra, the lighting facilities in this universe, they are taking care of everything. So those interested in material benefits, they are worshipping demigods or Devi Devatas. They do different rituals, right? Srila Prabhupada says they are called Bahu Ishwaravadi. In the purport, he writes Bahu Ishwaravadi. Means there are many people who are believers in many gods. So Krishna person is different. He is very intelligent. He is, they say Krishna Bhakta, Bada Chatur. Chatur means clever. He is very intelligent. He is very clever. He knows what to ask for, what activities to do, how to do. So whatever he does for Krishna. He knows where to go directly. No need to go to the manager. Go directly, approach the CEO. So all these sacrifices are there. But the best sacrifice in this age of Kali Yuga is to please Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nama Smaranam. That's the best for this Kali Yuga. Because Lord will be very much satisfied. And Lord has described two types of yajna so far, right? Here, he has said that Deva yajna and Brahman. For Supreme Brahman, they do meditation. So in coming verses, the Lord is going to give more types of yajnas. So let's see what is that. श्रोत्रादीनीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्ये इन्द्रियाण्यन्येषु जुह्वति. Yes, Pravina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Some, the unadulterated brahmacharis, sacrifice the hearing processes and the senses in the fire of mental control, and others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Previous shloka, what we saw that one sacrifice is done by karmis because they want to please the devatas, they want to get some material stuff. Second type of sacrifice was to merge into Brahman, do meditation. Well, we said both are not intelligent. Lord Krishna is continuing on the same theme with two more yajnas. What is he saying over here? He says anye, means there are others, some more people. Here we are talking about brahmacharis, celibates. What do they do? Shotra adini indriyani sanyama. They will sanyama, they will restrain their indriyas, such as their hearing process, the sense, this kind of sense, they will try to hold it, restrain. Juvati, they sacrifice that process. What are the sacrifices? Sacrificing in? They're sacrificing it into Agnishu, in the fire. What is that fire? What is that fire that they are sacrificing? Mental control. That fire here is mental control of what? Or mental control can be called Sanyama. Sanyam means to control, to have that equipoised thing. And then there are others too, Anye, more. What are that other category of people? Here we are going to talk about Grihastha or householders. What do they do? Shabdadin Vishayam Indriya Jovati. So they are offering sound vibration, sense objects. They are looking around, they will try to restrain that. Sense organs, they will try to restrain. So where do they offer their in? Agnishu, again in the fire. Mentally, they will sacrifice. What are they sacrificing over here? Sense objects. The brahmacharis are sacrificing the process of hearing. So Lord Krishna is distinguishing two approaches to spiritual evolution, going higher up the level. So member of 4 divisions of human life. What are those? Like we have brahmacharis, we have grihasthas, we have vanaprastha, then we have sannyasis also, right? All are, they are made. Lord Krishna has made this system so that we all can become perfect yogis, transcendentalists in the end. So one is the path of negation of senses. We are trying to negate the senses, which is being followed by brahmacharis, students who live with the gurus. In Gurukul, they live, right? They have very little independence. They are under the care of the guru only, bona fide spiritual master. They control their mind by abstaining from sense gratification. They are not going out anywhere. They only hear and hear only from their guru. So they're restraining. They're not sitting and listening to what is happening in the cricket match or what is happening on Facebook or trying to go on YouTube, nothing like that. So they're abstaining. So in this type of sacrifice, what is happening? Senses, the action of senses are suspended. Bare maintenance of the body is happening in Gurukul. Whatever they get to eat, they eat as prasada, and then they go, they do seva to the Guru, and they hear only from Guru. So they are sacrificing their sense of hearing, and their mind is completely withdrawn from the senses, and it's made in introvert towards with the force of that willpower that they have. You know, here that they restrict themselves from hearing, like they will not be sitting and listening to Bollywood, Hollywood, or any kind of music or gossip or whatever. Only and only from Guru. And about what? Only and only about Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is it. Symbolically, self-control is also like fire. That is why he says Agnishu. We should not think fire means they will just physically take out fire and do. No, nothing like that. Here, it's symbolic. It's symbolic. Self-control is like fire to which senses are offered. So opposite to this is the practice of householders. They are independent. They are not under Guru or Gurukul in the Gurukul. They are financially also independent. Materially also they are independent. Time-wise also they are independent. They have all the time in the world, right? Because they are grihasthas. But these grihasthas, Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport that if they take a voluntary call that I will restrain myself from doing sense gratification, like we are all grihasthas here. And if we restrain ourselves, even though we are living in this material world, in this fully independent, we can choose. If we choose, you can need not sit over here and listen to Bhagavad Gita. You can go and do some clubbing. You can go and play cards. You can go and drink something, but you have chosen. So that is what you are restraining your sense gratification. Srila Prabhupada in his purport writes that such person needs to be glorified. You all need to be glorified. So in the second type of yajna, what do? They can have sex, but it should be restricted. They should follow the Shastras and have sex only to beget children, not unrestricted sex, not more than wives, or go out and have sex with others, nothing like that, no illicit things, not for their own sense gratification. So Srila Prabhupada is right, whoever is doing that is actually performing yajna only, because they're restraining themselves. Why? Because they're making the senses to feast on the eyes, on the glory. They're making use of their eyes, the senses, to look at the Lord. They're using their ears to listen to the Bhagavad Gita. They are using their nose to smell tulsi leaves. So they're doing it for Lord's pleasure and not their own pleasure. So that is also good restraint. It's easy, if you're living in a Gurukul, Guru is there, he is able to control you. But if you are independent, very difficult. But if you are doing it, that means Srila Prabhupada writes that we are doing the right thing by restraining it. So they no longer use their senses for material enjoyment, right? Because they see God in everything. So if Srila Prabhupada says, if householders follow such things, this type of sacrifice, then they also will attain destination. I was reading, there was this 65-year-old Maharashtrian woman, and she used to be living in the village, rural Maharashtra, and was poor. They were laborers. They didn't own any farm. They didn't own any field. They didn't any. She and her husband were daily wages worker, and they were laborers and working for others. They had three daughters, and they got them married. So once their daughter got married, they started working in nearby farms. They wanted to survive, right? They have to survive day to day wages. But some bad luck, her husband fell very ill and got some infection. So village doctor said, it's not in my hand. I can't do anything much. So you please take them to the city hospital. There they went. They saw the huge building. Oh, wow. What is that? They didn't even know what to go, how to go about it. So many regulations. And then ultimately they could meet a doctor. But after doctor, she paid the fees. She had that much money to pay the fees. But then he wrote a big list of these tests need to be done. She didn't have any money. Doctor asked, you have to arrange 5,000 rupees for MRI scan, and there are some more lab tests. It was beyond her imagination. They had never seen such big money. So they tried to ask everyone, but they didn't have any luck. But of course, there was they were eating some samosas near that Thelawala, and near some stall outside the hospital. And the newspaper, there was an article about a race, a marathon kind of thing, which was being organized by some NGO or whoever. So she inquired about it, and there was a prize money. So she said, "Can I also participate?" The organizer said, "What? No, 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 no. We cannot break the rules. We don't allow people in saris and all that." So they gave one look at her and they said, "No, no," because others were wearing all kinds of swanky attire and Nike shoes and all that. So, but she begged and pleaded, and ultimately they gave in and they said, "Okay, fine, go ahead." So many people encouraged her and they said, "Okay, go, auntie, go. You also take part." She was 65-year-old. She ran in her sari, Maharashtrian style, tied up sari and sandals. In between, the sandals also broke in the middle of the race. That was a 3-kilometer run, I guess. She ran. She ran like anything and she came first. She had never ever run in her life. She earned a lot of applause from people, cheering crowd, won the prize, got her husband treated. That was a sensational news. It's a true story that grandmother wins 3 kilometers race. Reporters asked, "What was the motivation?" She said, "I did because I wanted to help my husband." What was that? That was motivation of love. Now, love towards worldly spouse is so much, then imagine if we have that same love towards divine, beloved Lord Krishna, it will be many, many, many folds more, right? So when our motivation will become that divine love, now imagine the intensity of sacrifice that we can make. She did the sacrifice, right? For her husband. And if we have that divine love, then you imagine. And this is the sacrifice that Lord Krishna is talking about in the second line. If we devotees, we can sacrifice our senses. Like devotee says, "I will use my eyes to see the Lord. I will use my tongue to taste the prasadam. I will." That's the only and only ticket we need to buy. And what is that? Chant the holy name and take on the process of devotional service. Then we will definitely book our place in Golok Dham. Okay, so Lord Krishna will carry on the same theme of sacrifice. Let's see that. Sarvani indriya karmani prana karmani chapare atma sanyama yogadna chupati jnana deepite. Yes, Neha Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Shreyas Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as oblations into the fire of the controlled mind.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Previous shlokas, various sacrifices were discussed. We learned that one sacrifice was to please the devatas, one were to merge in the Brahman, then brahmacharis did their sacrifice of hearing, they were restraining their mental faculties. Grihasthas, they were restraining their sensual pleasures, following Vedic injunctions to beget children, follow austerity strictly. So far, some of the sacrifices have been discussed, right? So here what Lord is saying, apare, others. What do? Jnana Deepite, because these people, they have strong urge for self-realization. What are they doing? They do sacrifice, but means of sacrifice is little different. What is that? Sarva Indriya Karmani. All the functions of the senses, cha, and Prana Karmani also. Function of the life breath also. Pranavayu, life air. What are they doing with that? Atma Sanyama Yogagna Chufati. What are they doing? They are offering everything in the fire. Sense control, of controlling of the mind. Why? Because they have that urge for self-realization. Means what? In one liner, if I have to say, we can say that whoever can control the life air, the prana, they can control the mind. So in Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport that the soul is called Pratyak Atma and Parag Atma. So as long as the soul is attached to sense enjoyment outside, it's called Paragatma. Just enjoy. Senses of Paragatma, what do? They will interact with sense object. TV, that famous nice serial. Okay, ice cream. Okay, that's the chatwala is over there. So it's interacting. Like, ears want to hear some other music, maybe Bollywood music. The eyes might want to see some YouTube series, Netflix series. or nose might want to, smell some chaat, masala, God knows whatever. And tongue might want to taste something, hands might want to touch something, something like that. Basically, all the sense organs remain outside the cell. It is not going within. But soul, which is detached from the sense enjoyment, is called Pratyagatma. Pratyekatma is what is the ultimate goal that we are trying to look for. The true seeker, whoever is a true seeker, with, of course, with the help of a capable, bona fide, supreme guru, he is able to turn whatever this outwardly seeking is there, right? We are seeking outside. He will be able to bring it inside, slowly. It won't happen in a day. It takes time. So, Atma, will slowly, can do that. Become a Pratyekatma. What does it mean? Withdraw the senses from the activities of the world. So, there are actually, I need not go into this so much. This is enough, but I will just still tell that there are 10 kinds of airs that work within the body. 5 pranas and 5 upapranas. I'll quickly go through it. Prana vayus, life airs. Because, human body cannot be seen, but their function can be seen. We can see the function, right? We can feel it, what is going inside, but we cannot go inside and see what is happening. So what is prana? It is not our breath. It is actually our life energy, you can say. It is organizing all the body. It's actually making the whole body move, basically, for whether it is mental. If we stop the air, you can't even think. The mind goes numb. Stop breathing for a while, for a minute now, and you will see the mind goes numb. So this life energy is something which is providing movement, not only physically, but even mentally also. Without air, we cannot be alive for more than maybe some people may be capable of holding the breath for a few minutes, but after that, no. We cannot store air in our bodies, like how we are storing water, we are drinking water and storing, we are eating food and storing, we cannot store. So air actually needs to continuously go in and out of the body, otherwise we can't be sitting here and talking. So 5 life airs are pranavayu, apanavayu, udanavayu, samanavayu, vyanavayu, right? So in Vedas also, whenever they, in ancient times, whenever they used to offer Naivedya, they would offer this way: Om Pranaya Swaha, Panaya Swaha, Vyanaya Swaha, Udanaya Swaha, Samanaya Swaha, Brahmane Swaha, like that they would offer. So prana is the air we take in while breathing in. What is the purpose of prana? It's respiration. Apana is what we're breathing out. It is, breathing downwards, excretion. Udana is the air that is we are discharging, all the impurities is going out. It does like whenever we are swallowing the food, and also it will take us to sleep. The jiva, how we are sleeping, that udana is working over there, and it is separating that, the astral body from the physical body at the time of death. This udana vayu does that. Its function. Vyana, it is moving throughout the body. It is maintaining the whole pressure. So when you do Ayurveda course, you get to read all this. And it's Vyana also performs the circulation of blood inside. If somebody is having problem in that circulation, the Ayurveda doctor will talk about Vyana. Samana is the air which is maintaining all the pressure of all over the body. It is maintaining equal pressure. It helps in our digestion. That is how it helps. Then there are upapranas also. Different names have been given. Why, I don't know, but names have been given like Naga. Naga, it is written that it is for burping, belching, hiccups. Then Kurma is there for when we blink our eyes. It performs the function of, blinking, opening and closing the eyes. Then Krukara means sneezing. Sometimes we get hunger and thirst. That's what is helping us to understand that, oh, we are feeling hungry or thirsty. Then there is another name called Dhananjaya. Arjuna's another name. So Dhananjaya here is, I don't know why they gave these names. No idea. I didn't go and research on this. Dhananjaya is like opening and closing of heart valves. And it lingers after death also, it seems. It causes the decomposition of the body after death. And Devadatta is for yawning. So these are, it's mentioned in Kurma Purana. If anybody can get hold of Kurma Purana, you can find the reasons in it. Anyways, so once we understand all this, we must appreciate, right, what this whole creation, this whole body of what Lord has created for us, right? The way the Lord has created this body is so complex. And without our notice, imagine, we are entire whole function is happening. When we breathe air, we don't consciously are breathing air, right? It's just happening. So when it comes to digestion of food, we only know, okay, I would like to eat. What do? We put it into our mouth. That's it. And forget about what happened to the food. Unless and until sometimes we may have indigestion, then we will start and focus towards, oh, what happened? Till then, we are not bothered. So how is it getting digested? And when it is done, when we feel hungry, we again go and eat. See how the Lord has created this system. We are all unfortunate because, many of us, we say that there is no creator. It just happened by chance. So think how complicated system comes into existence by chance, right? Controlling of mind, it's not easy. It's very, very difficult. It's not easy at all. It needs years and years of practice. And all that glitters is definitely not gold, as I can say. The Maya Devi, she creates a glittering, big glittering experience. And it's not glittering. So we need to see through it. This is illusion. As there is a joke that goes on that before marriage, the wife was called Surya Mukhi. And after my marriage, she became Jwalamukhi. This is the reality of material pleasure, But Lord Krishna says that we can control the mind. We can control the mind by intellect. The only thing that we need is the gyan, the knowledge which he is providing, right? For example, see a lady has lost her child in a mela, in a fair. And she is frantically looking for her child. She can't see. And then say far off, she can see her. She thinks that she has seen her child. She goes running and to a full speed with so much of love coming out because the child is close to her heart, right? And as she comes closer, she discovers that, oh, that is not my child. He's wearing the same color shirt, but that's not my child. Immediately what happens? She becomes detached. Did she have to practice detachment? Oh, I've practiced detachment. Now I must practice. I practiced attachment. Now I will practice detachment. No, it just happened. Did she have to fight for that? No. Oh, I thought you were my child. Why did you turn out to be somebody else? Nothing like that happened. Why detached? The intellect. The moment the intellect realizes he is not mine, detached. That is the power of intellect over mind. Now, Jnana Yogi consciously is using this power. Imagine. Consciously is using. He doesn't leave it, oh, by chance. No, he is bringing the right knowledge to the intellect. Where I am searching for happiness, is there actually happiness over there? Is it that my senses are deceiving it, cheating me? So Lord Krishna says that whoever has got this knowledge, he is able to dismantle this illusion, whatever is creating, and he is able to then control the mind because he is knowing. As soon as a thought comes to the mind, he is looking at it. What is this? Is this illusion? No, get it out, get out, shut, and he throws it away. And in Kali Yuga, it's not so easy. So that is why for us, what is recommended? We all who are present over here are students of Gita, right? We are all learning Bhagavad Gita. We must stick to Sankirtan Yajna as per Kali Yuga Dharma and chant the Maha Mantra so that we can get away from all these miseries, material miseries. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Attentive chanting, right? So let's see, Lord continues his some more sacrifices. Dravya yajnyastapo yajna yoga yajnasthatha pare swadhyaya jnana yajnashta yataya samshrita vrataha. Yes, Snigdha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and others by performing severe austerities, by practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. Hare Krishna.
So many sacrifices Lord Krishna is describing, and we understand most of it. That what is the aim? Aim of all these sacrifices is to get the transcendental knowledge. What this chapter says, Jnana Yoga. So Lord, here what is he saying? Yatayas Samshita Vrata. Yatayas Samshita Vrata means there are people who have taken the Samshita Vrata. Vrata means what? They have taken that vow, strict vows for getting what? Enlightenment. What are the different types of sacrifices these people are doing? Number one, Dravya Yajnas. Dravya Yajna means what? What do they do in this? They sacrifice their material things, their possessions, whatever they have, they will sacrifice that. Second, Tapo Yajna. They do severe austerities, tapasya. Then Yoga Yajna, practice Ashtanga Yoga. Then Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna means they will sacrifice the study of, they will study Swadhyaya, study the Vedas to advance towards transcendental knowledge. So see, human beings, we are all different, right? No one human being is same. Mother is not same as daughter. Daughter's nature is not same as her brother. Husband's nature is entirely different. So everyone's nature is unique, different. Our motivations are different. Our activities are different. Our professions are different. Our aspirations are different. Our aims and goals are different. Our sanskaras, which we have been carrying from long lifetimes after lifetimes, tendencies that we are carrying forward from past life, they are different. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna over here to understand, these sacrifices, they can take on hundreds of forms. But when you dedicate all this to God, then it will help you, it will purify your mind, and then you will be able to elevate yourself. What has to be elevated? The soul has to understand that what is its constitutional position. So in this verse, what is being mentioned? 3 or 4 such yajnas have been mentioned, right? Dravya yajna. Dravya yajna is those who are inclined, okay, I want to earn money, but they will do some donation also. They will give some charity for good cause, and they sacrifice something, like they will open a dharmashala, or Srila Prabhupada writes that they will open a dharmashala or anakshetra or anathalaya or something like that. So hospitals, old age homes, such charitable organizations they will open. That's dravya yajna. Then second is tapo yajna. For this, they do severe vows. They will, during Chaturmasya, Srila Prabhupada writes that during Chaturmasya, they will, many people don't shave for 4 months, during the year July to October. They will not eat certain kinds of food. They will not eat twice a day. There are many, many austerities they follow. They will not leave home. So, see, basically they do that because they want to focus more upon God, on austerities. And it's rainy season in some places, so they don't want to, get out during olden days. And now every facility is there, of course. But still many follow that. So such sacrifices, where they are sacrificing the comforts of life. They are not, and austerity means leaving the comforts of life. They will sleep on the floor like that. That's tapo yajna, tapomaya yajna. Then yoga yajna. They are engaging into Ashtanga yoga, Hatha yoga. And then they will also travel to places of pilgrimage. That also comes under yoga yajna. Then Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. What do they do over here? They will study different scriptures, Upanishads, and different philosophies. They are trying to study the scriptures so that they can better their understanding and have more love towards God or devotion. You can say Savidyatan Materiya. Yeah, it's written in Bhagavatam also. Means they can better their understanding about God, right? So they will understand how to love God. So all these yogis, they're very faithfully, they are engaged. They are different sacrifices, and they're seeking higher status of life. They want to go in above higher levels, ultimately go back to Godhead. So Krishna consciousness is what? Direct. It's a direct bhakti marg, which is direct service to the Lord, direct CEO, no in between things. So this bhakti, it cannot be attained by any of the above mentioned things. Whatever has been mentioned, dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, swadhyaya jnana yajna, nothing. It cannot be attained by any of these. It can only be attained by the mercy of the Lord, because we are into devotional service. So Krishna consciousness is what? Transcendental, topmost. Why is it topmost? Because we are completely trying to engage all our senses to Lord only, directly. So in this Kali Yuga, what is the yajna that we are supposed to do? Sankirtan. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Harer Nama eva kevalam kalau nasti eva gatiranyatha. Means what? There is no other way, no other way, no other alternative, no other alternative, no other alternative but to take the name of. That's it. So let's see, Lord is still continuing with this whole section is about sacrifices. Let's move on. Apane juvati pranam prane panam tatha pare prana panagati rudva pranayama parayanaha apare niyataharaha pranan praneshu juvati. Yes, Pratima Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Still others who are inclined to the process of breath restraint, to remain in trance, practice offering the movement of the ongoing breath into the incoming, and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus that at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing, others curtailing the eating process, others offer the outgoing breath to itself as a sacrifice.
Hare Krishna. So previous shloka we saw 4 types: Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, Swadhyaya, Jnana Yajna. So this shloka is going to talk more about Hatha or Ashtanga Yoga. So Lord, what is saying? Pranayama Parayana. All these category of people who are inclined to go into trance or meditation through pranayama. So what is pranayama? Basically breath control. Breath control, which is helping, if we do breath control, it helps to control our senses actually. So what are these people doing? Apane jufati pranam. They are trying to merge the prana into apana. Prane apanam apare means tatha prana pana prana pana gati rudva pranayama parayana. So first what they do? Prana pana tatha pare. So they are done. Apane jufati prana, prane apanam tatha pare. So then after that they are trying to do the other one. What is that? They are offering apana into prana. First prana into apana into prana. Ingoing, outgoing. So that is what they are doing at first. So what are they trying to do? Prana, apana, gati, rudva. Ultimately, what are they trying to do? They are checking the movement of that life air, stopping it. Both prana and apana, they will stop. So this is one category of people. Then there are other categories of people also, Lord Krishna says. What do they do? Apare niyata ahara. Ahara means food. So what are they doing? They will, niyata means restrict, restrain. They will control their food eating, food habit, food eating, food process. Pranam, praneshu jupati. They are offering their senses into the pranam. So all these processes are recommended for, basically controlling the senses and to advance in spiritual realization. These all processes are for that. You have to control your senses. Controlling senses is very difficult. Chanchala Bhimana Krishna Pramati Balavathridam, says Arjuna in chapter 6. Very difficult to control, says Arjuna. I can control maybe the speed of the wind, but I can't control my mind. So it's that bad. So some people, they are drawn towards this, pranayam. It's a control of breath, prana. It also refers to that subtle energy, right? The atmosphere which that causes in all these things. When we are breathing, what are we actually doing? We assimilate the prana from atmosphere. It's coming from outside, right? We assimilate it from the atmosphere within ourselves. It's not just oxygen. It's a subtle energy. In Chinese, they call it qi. So this process of pranayam, it involves what? Breathing in, which is also called puraka. Breathing out, it is called rechaka. And holding the breath, it is called kumbhaka. This is, it's in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes about this, puraka, rechaka and kumbhaka. Breathing in is puraka, the whole process of breathing in. The whole process of breathing out, rechaka, and stopping the breath, holding the breath is kumbhaka. So now you can breathe out and then hold the breath. I have taken the breath out and I'm holding it. That's called Bahya Kumbhak. Or I can breathe in and then hold. Like I have held the breath. It's called Antar Kumbhaka. So you can do that way. But you have to do under the guidance of a proper yoga teacher. We shouldn't try on our own. We will do the wrong way and we'll end up in the hospital. So Lord Krishna is saying that he is referring to both of these. So in this process of this Ashtanga yoga, the Bahya Kumbhak, it's considered actually very precious, when you are doing, when they are trying to breathe out and then holding their breath and all. So why it's precious? Because when you're taking the breath out and then you hold and see, for a second or few seconds, the mind goes blank. It blanks out. And they love that mindless sensation that brings with it. They like it. So that's why they try to do it. The intelligent yogi, he's interested in attaining perfection in one life. One life itself, he wants to perfect it. He doesn't want to wait for the next life. So by practicing Kumbhaka yoga, the yogis, what are they doing? If you practice that yoga, they can increase the duration of their life by many, many, many years. They can increase it. Many yogis have done that because they want, in this one life only, they want perfection. So they want to increase their lifespan, because the lifespan in Kali Yuga is very short. So how to increase? By doing this Kumbhaka yoga or whatever it is. There are various kinds. Some are doing pranayama, and in the next line, what is Lord Krishna is telling? That some restrain the food process, eating process. And when the eating process is curtailed, what happens? The prana or the life air, it becomes very weak. Imagine you are fasting on that day. That is, you please don't ask me to do all this. I can't, I'm not getting the energy. What is that? The air has become very weak. So when it becomes weak, what then happens? The senses become weak. You don't want to watch TV that day. The eyes will be strained. You don't want to hear any. You don't want to eat. You're just lying over there. I feel very weak. If you fast for a few days, you will see what happens. Senses also become very weak. So they make their senses very weak. And when senses are getting weak, then how will they get attracted to the sense objects? No. If I tell you when you're fasting for a few days, okay, let's go shopping, let's go trekking, let's go picnicking, what will you say? Oh, you please go ahead. Don't ask me to come. That's what is going to happen. The attraction goes away. So these yogis, what do? They try to restrain the eating habits. Why? If they eat less, the senses will weaken. Then they will not get attracted to sense objects. Then they can focus on meditation like that. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada, what does he say? He says, Krishna conscious person. What does he do? He nicely eats prasadam after offering it to the Lord. So that the mercy, the grace of the Lord, it flows into the food. And Srila Prabhupada calls this prasadam as Krishnized prasadam. And it purifies the person. Whatever sinful reactions are gone. So the practice of reduced eating is automatically done when we are eating Krishna prasadam. We don't eat all sorts of stuff. So it is already restricted because we are offering it to Lord. So we will offer only the pure stuff, and that is what we are eating. So reducing the eating process is very helpful because it helps in mind control. Even when you are doing Ekadashi fasting, why do we do? So that mind does not go towards the food. We can sit and focus and chant more number of rounds that day. Sense control happens. And without sense control, we will again get into this material entanglement. Somebody will call you and say, okay, let's go over there. Okay, there is a concert, let's go there. So the mind keeps going out. But when we are fasting and we are curtailing the eating senses, we won't feel lazy also. We will get up very early. So Krishna conscious devotee is always situated in this transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is automatically becomes the controller of his senses. At once raised, towards the platform of liberation, right? Like in Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter, Lord says, Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. So his senses, everything is engaged in Krishna. So at the end of the life, he is engaged in service of Krishna. So definitely there is no chance of becoming engaged to sense objects. At the end of life also, he will be definitely taking Lord Krishna's name because he has been chanting all his life, luckily. And then he will, of course, he will be delivered, right, to Golok Dham. That is why he does not try to make his life longer. Longevity, he does not mind like yogis do. So Krishna devotee is always, throughout his life, he is blissful because he is practicing bhakti. At the end of the life, he is quitting his life, he is blissful. He is going back to Godhead. There also he is blissful. So blissful, blissful, blissful for Krishna conscious devotee. When it comes to a yogi, hardworking. Very, very hardworking, because you have to do a lot of austerities. Controlling the air is not so easy. You can try. It's not that easy. Lot of discipline is needed. Lot of self yama, niyama. We have all that ashtanga thing. And then austerity is there. Self-control is there. You cannot have sex at all. You have to be in a very secluded place. A lot of mental control is needed. And then he is, if he in case he manages to attain, he will be blissful. But then there's a big question mark. Will he? Will he be not? Will he be able to manage? Attain? We don't know. In this Kali Yuga, especially when our lifespan is so short, we don't have time, right? We don't know. Best is Krishna consciousness and do Namasmarana. So let's see. He's going to summarize the purpose of all the sacrifices he has discussed so far. Let's see that. Sarve pyete yajna vidaha yajnakshapita kalmashaha yajnashishtamrita bhujo yanti brahma sanatanam. Yes, we will read now. Shravani Mataji, will you like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of the sacrifices, they advance toward the supreme eternal atmosphere. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So Lord Krishna has described different sacrifices. Lord is speaking about the purpose. Sarve api ete yajna vidha. So what is the purpose of all those who have understood the meaning of sacrifice and they are doing it? They are doing it. They are performing this sacrifice. They are conversant with the purpose. Why they are performing the sacrifices? Then what happens when they know what the purpose? Yajna kshapita kalmasha. Kalmash means sins. All the kalmasha, all the sinful reactions, it gets cleansed as a result of these sacrifices. Yajna shishta amrita bhuja. Amrita, nectar. Finally, he tastes the amrita, nectar of the results of such performance. Or yajna. Yanti brahma sanatana. Finally, he is moving towards that supreme eternal atmosphere. He is moving ahead. Otherwise, we are always on the bodily platform. So all these different types of sacrifices, they have common aim only. All of them have common aim. Control the senses. Some people, they like to offer austerity, Ashtanga Yoga, right? So that they can defeat this unruly mind and senses. Why? What is the nature of the senses and mind? You give them an inch and they will want a yard. You give a finger and they want to hold your hand. Those kind of senses we have. So they want to be indulged all the time. They want to be stimulated. They want to be gratified. And if we fall for it, they will take us on a ride. So, like a little child, that sometimes the little children, we try to, they need to be disciplined, right? Many times we love them. Along with love, we discipline them also. Same thing we have to do with the mind and senses. We have to love them, but we have to discipline them at the same time. We should not listen to the mind, right? We should not listen to the mind. We should make the mind listen to us. Very important point. So these austerities, they are being performed by the people for what? What is the purpose of these? Inner purification. Cheto marjana darpada. Complete inner purification. Sense gratification is the cause of this existence, right? Unless and until we can get rid of it completely, there is no chance of being elevated to any platform of knowledge. We will not have that full blissful life, Satchitanand platform. No way. That's very difficult. Real knowledge, when will it culminate? When will it come into Krishna consciousness? That's the highest stage, right? Secret is that it should be performed for the pleasure of the Lord. That's what Srila Prabhupada is continuously drilling. And then that remnants, where whatever we offer, we can take it as prasad, as his grace. In this way, the purpose of all the sacrifice is sense control, getting some results so that we can move on to the higher platform and then we can enjoy that platform. Finally, if we are fortunate, if and when we are fortunate, and if we are qualified, we don't know whether we are qualified also, no. Then we go to the higher realm of spirituality, right? So these yogis, they understand. They understand that whatever they do, devotion or bhakti has to be added. If it's not added, that it's like 1 added to long list of zeros. Unless that 1 is added, there is no point of no value of that 0. So if 1 is added, then that 1 is bhakti, devotion towards the Lord. Then what happens? Then only we will be able to travel up the ladder. Otherwise, yogi becomes a yog. Whatever yog we are doing, it becomes kuyog. And whatever jnana we are trying to think, it becomes ajnana. No point. So let's see. Lord is going to discuss more sacrifices, and he's going to elaborate also as to what are the things, other things that a person gets by doing the sacrifices. Let's see that also. Nayam lokoste yajnasya kutonya kuru sattama. Yes, please. Who will read? Pravina Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So much Lord has described so far, right? When someone does sacrifice, what will he get? Lord has said that he will enjoy the bliss over here, serving the Lord. And then at the end, he will go to Golok Dham, right? Ultimate destination. So what will happen to a person who is doing activities for the pleasure? This is what is going to happen, who is doing for Krishna. Now, Lord is going to talk about what if someone does not do the sacrifice? What is his destination? What will he get? Or say, not get, you can say. So Lord Krishna is saying, Kuru Sattama. Oh, best among the Kurus. Oh, Arjuna. Huh? So he is saying, Kutonya, Agnyasya. Nayam lokoste Agnyasya. Agnyasya means a person who is not doing any yajna or sacrifice. Agnyasya means not doing any part. Na ayam lokaste means he is, he can live in na. He cannot live in this loka or in this life happily. He cannot. Na. He cannot live very happily in this loka or in this life. Krishna is putting a question. Kuto anya? Forget about. Then what to talk about other life, next life, or in other lokas? Whoever is not doing yajna, Kuru Sattama, oh great Kuru, son of Kuru dynasty, Agnyasya, if he is not doing any yajna, what happened? Nayam lokos. There is no way he is going to live happily here. Nayam loka. And Kutu anya. Kutu anya means where? Where else will he? No. That's what he's saying. So he has made one thing very clear to us. Without doing sacrifice, we cannot be happy here or in our next life. Then see, when someone is doing not doing sacrifice, then what is he doing? If I am not doing sacrifice, if I am not reading Bhagavad Gita, if I am not chanting, if I am not doing the glorification of the Lord, what else am I doing? Involving myself in sinful activities. Maybe I'll be going and gossiping. Maybe I'll be going and criticizing someone. Maybe I will go and complain about someone. Maybe I'll go and do clubbing. Maybe I'll go and do something sinful. So it's ultimately, if I'm not doing this, I'll be doing sinful activities. Simple as that. We are all stuck here, right? In this material world. Why? Is, see, something that we need to ponder upon. Why? Logically, let us think. How to get out of this? We know we are all stuck here. So there is a cycle, we are all stuck in. What is that cycle? A person in ignorance, what will he do? He will commit first sinful activities. That's what he's going to do. And once that person commits the sinful activities, he is degrading himself, or he is pulling, you can say we are pulling ourselves down in this material existence. If we are going down, then what is down thing? Mode of ignorance. Again, we are doing in the mode of ignorance, sinful activities. And this is how we are going again and again and again. Ignorance, sinful activities, ignorance, that cycle is going on. And then one very nice thing is there. What is the loophole? There is in this entire cycle, there is a small loophole. You can see in the screen also I have put small loophole. That loophole is a ray of hope for all of us in this Kali Yuga. We now understand. Srila Prabhupada very mercifully, when he has put it in his purport, he said the human form of life is the only loophole by which we may get out of this entanglement. So as you can see in the picture, he's escaping by using the Maha Mantra, and he's getting out of that loophole. And this is only and only possible in human form of life. So it is big congratulations to all of us, right? So why? Because in other forms, it's not possible. Animal form, what are they doing? They're doing those 4 activities: eating, sleeping, meeting, defending. And whatever little intelligence is given to them, they make sure that they are able to do these 4 activities properly. That's all. So Lord has given us good amount of intelligence. So at least we can use our intellect for discrimination. This is good, this is bad. And then we can decide which path to take on. But what are we doing? In ignorance, we are choosing the lower aspects of life. In a way, then there is no difference between us and the animals. Sorry to say that, but that's what I feel sometimes, that there is no difference between us. As we forget, we forget what are we supposed to do. We have to think about a higher purpose, not lower. Only we have that power. We as human beings, we have that power. Human form of life has that power to question. We have to question ourselves every day, morning question ourselves. Every night before you go to bed, question yourself. Now, what next? What now? How can I elevate myself? What do I do? How to reach the higher self, higher realms? That is why it said, such a person, he can use the loophole and escape. How? Break the cycle of birth and death. So we must say, I will only eat, I will only smell, I will only wear, I will only live in, I'll only talk about objects that are first being offered to Krishna. In this way, what is happening? We are accepting the remnants as prasad. Whatever, clothes, books, whatever, everything Krishna arpanamastu. Then only I will accept. Then what is happening? We are easily going to conquer the Maya Devi. And those who do not perform this sacrifice, they are entangled in this reaction of work, action, all this. And they are going to be tormented by this Maya Devi. So if you don't know, what is happening is we know. So after this, Lord is going to talk about how every sacrifice is focusing towards transcendental knowledge. Evam bahuvida yajna vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan vidhitan sarvan evam gyatva vimokshase. Yes, Neha Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. All these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, Krishna has told about all sacrifices. We heard what we'll get once if we do the sacrifice. We'll enjoy the bliss in this material world, attain liberation, blah 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 at the end of the life. Then he gave warning also to those who are not doing sacrifice. He said, you will not get bliss in this life, and forget about the next life. You will not even get bliss in this life. So Lord, what is he's telling us in this shloka? What is the ultimate end of all sacrifices? 2 verses is going to speak, right? He's going to speak on this one and the next one. What is Lord saying? Evam. This means whatever sacrifices he has described so far. Bahuvida yajna. Like whatever very Bahuvida, different types of sacrifices, what you have done. Vitata Brahmano Mukhe. Means these sacrifices are in the Vedas. And these Vedas have come out from the mouth of the Lord himself. Mukhe, his Mukhe, Lord's Mukha. Karmajan vidhitan sarvan. So you should know, Arjuna, all these what? Karmajan, they emerge, they take birth. From where? Jan means birth, from different types of work. And it is these work have been performed at different levels. What is that? Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, at the level of body, speech, mind, sense organs, intelligence, right? All. Evam Jnatva Vimokshase. Moksha. Whoever will know this Tattva, he will be liberated. Beautiful feature of Veda is, they recognize, they cater to every one of us. Different natures we have. So different sacrifices have been prescribed, right? So it's like person goes to a doctor. It's not that all the patients who go to the doctor will get the same medicine. Okay, same medicine, go buy in the pharmacy, wholesale. No. So not depending upon the disease, a person has the medicines will be given accordingly, right? Person is given the medicines accordingly. So similarly, different types of workers have different conceptions. They have different aims. They have different goals. Whatever different medicines are given, they are given in this form of sacrifice. Different people, different type of medicine is given. Just by doing that sacrifice, the person will go to the next level. Depends. Who is it, what level, we don't know. Exterior, don't go for the exterior looks. It is all internal. We don't know what level we are in, right? So we will keep moving to higher and higher level until we reach the ultimate destination. And I will take 10 more minutes. And all these different sacrifices are given in various scriptures. And if someone does the sacrifice according proper Vedic vidhi or regulation, he will elevate himself to the next level. But if someone is doing according to his own mental speculation, own mental concoction, nothing good is going to happen to that person. And he may keep wondering, why am I not getting the result? मैंने तो पूजा किया था. I did it. No, you didn't. You didn't follow the proper procedure. You didn't proper the vidhi prescribed in the Vedas. Vedas have very systematically given the sacrifices to cater to all. Whoever is at bodily level, bodily concept, they can do yajnas to satisfy bodily material pleasures. Mental level, a little more is given for them. At intellectual level, meditation for such people. Different people. So people can choose from it. They keep moving up the ladder. At least that provision is given in the Vedas by the Lord. Like we saw in 28th shloka, various sacrifices were mentioned. Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, then yoga yajna, swadhyaya, jnana yajna, right? All these different yajnas. So dravya yajna is material, bodily level. Tapo yajna little higher. Yoga yajna mental level. Swadhyaya, jnana yajna more higher. So common thread. What is the common thread that is running through all this that we are talking about? It should be done with devotion. And in other yugas, it was okay. But what about this yuga, Kali Yuga? Medicine is chanting of holy name of the Lord, right? So what is that? Kala Utad Hari Kirtana. In Kali Yuga, simply chant Hari Nam or Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Srimad Bhagavatam also, Shukadev Goswami was telling Parikshit Maharaj, Kale Doshe Nidhe Rajan. Oh king, this Kali Yuga is full of faults. Parikshit Maharaj is like, okay, I know. Tell me something new. So Shukadev Goswami said, no. Asti Haiko Mahan Guna. There is one great quality about this Kali Yuga. How come there is something great in this garbage? He says, no. There is something more. It is there, Rajan. It is there, king. What is that? Kirtana Deva Krishnasya. So just by doing Kirtan of Krishna, what will happen? Mukta Sangha Param Vrije. We will be able to attain the ultimate goal of life. So this is the best sacrifice that we can do in this age and this time that we are going through. So let's not miss this opportunity we have got to chant the name of Hari, right? In this way, Krishna has described that finally, whoever understands and applies this sacrifice in his life, that person will attain liberation. So Krishna is going to tell us how these all these sacrifices culminate into knowledge. The last shloka for the day. Shreyan dravyamaya dagnya jnana yajnashta parantapa sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Shreyas Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge.
Hare Krishna. So he's spoken about different sacrifices. We know now. One knows about these sacrifices that they are given in the Vedic scriptures. We know that we also know that person will attain liberation. What is Lord telling us now? That all these sacrifices, they will culminate into transcendental knowledge. What is he saying? Oh Partha, oh Parantapa, oh son of Pritha, oh chastiser of enemy, he's saying, calling Arjuna. Jnana yajna. The sacrifice performed or the sacrifice which is done in knowledge after understanding are Shreyan. It's greater. It is much better than what? Dravya yajna, mayat yajna. We learned about Dravya yajna in the 828 shloka. It is much better than sacrificing the material possessions, like doing some, making hospital, building this, that. That is Dravya. It is much better, he says. Jnana yajna. Sarvam karma khilam. Sarva karma akhilam means Lord says that all these activities in totality, sarvam, parisamapyate, should culminate, end. End in what? Samapyate in what? Jnane, in knowledge. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, it is all good. You should do the physical acts of devotion. Everything is very good, but it's not good enough. Ritualistic ceremonies, fasting, mantra chants, holy pilgrimage, everything is good, very good. If they are not performed with knowledge, then they are just simple physical activities. You are not using your knowledge, you are not having that purity of mind, then it's of waste. So that is why we say mantra chanting also should be attentive mantra chanting. That is why we say mechanical activities, of course, if we are, at least we are doing something. Something is better than nothing. Mechanical chanting or mechanical activities, much, much better than not doing anything at all and getting into sense gratification. That is true. Devotional sentiments are nourished by cultivation of knowledge. Very, very important. For example, let us say it is your birthday party, okay? And people are coming, they are giving you gifts. Someone comes and gives you a ragged bag. It's all not that great to look at. And you look at it, you say, what they have given? It's all like not even good enough. Why did they give? And you're comparing with other gifts. They have given nice packages and all that, nice covers, bags and all. Wow. So that person requests you, why don't you open it and look inside? And you open it and you see, oh, stacks of 2,000 notes, big stack. Wow. So what do? You immediately hug that bag. The bag that you're looking at like this, you're hugging it now. And what are you saying? Oh, this is the best gift I have ever received. What has happened? Knowledge, when you got that content, after seeing that content, you got that knowledge of the content. What had happened after that? Transformation took place. You started loving that object. Same way, cultivating the knowledge about God and our relationship with Him. What we are, Mame Vamsho Jivaloke, we are His part and parcel, and then nurture through devotional sentiments. Then we will be able to develop that. Like we read in an Ajamila story also, how he said Narayan, Narayan, and he reached Goloka in the end. So if we start thinking like that, it's okay, Narayana, 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 and I've been doing for years now, nothing has happened. Why? Why? So then they will come to this verse and they will understand that it is not enough. It does not suffice by saying Narayan, Narayana, Narayana or anything like that. We have to add bhava. We have to add sentiment to it, Lord says. And how will that sentiment or bhava come? By bringing, Lord Krishna says, by bringing the correct knowledge to our intellect. So see, I come to your house, for example, and there is a chair over there. Mere chair. I just look at it like, okay, it's a chair. I don't have any respect or reverence for a chair. But then you say, oh, Mataji, you know what? The Guru Maharaj had come the other day, few days ago, and he sat on that chair. Now tell me, I will be looking at it very differently now. It's a chair. It's just a chair. But the knowledge, that's so and so. Guru Maharaj, or let's say Jai Pataka Maharaj had come over there and he was sitting on it. Now what has happened? Bhav has changed. Bhav towards the chair is also changing now. How? By bringing the knowledge to the intellect. Same way, when we are chanting Mahamantra, we must bring that knowledge. Who is Krishna? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is my soul. He is my soul, beloved. He says, I am sitting in my name. Lord Krishna says like that. And with faith, when you see Krishna, and if our faith, if our sentiment is deep enough, we will attain Him. Lord says it very beautifully. He says that knowledge will create sentiments, and sentiments, your bhakti will lead to, sentiment will lead to bhakti, and bhakti will lead to knowledge. Very sweetly when he said, when you engage in bhakti, automatically develop knowledge. So this knowledge comes from inside that time when you are in bhakti. That is the realization. So Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that, sacrifice is performed in knowledge. It is superior to the sacrifice of whatever material things you might be sacrificing. You may be giving so many, but still sacrifices which is performed in knowledge is much better. So Lord is now going to give us a shortcut to get this knowledge, to purify our mind. And okay, we will learn this in the next shloka next time. So, I will end over here now and stop the recording.